Hey there. Good morning. How are you doing today? I have a really big, fun surprise for you. I have heard a lot about this guy.
Uh-oh.
Through several of my Master Gardener friends.
Uh-oh.
This is Josiah
Goss.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Josiah, why don't you just tell us a little bit, give us the Cliff Notes. Who is Josiah?
Who is Josiah? Well, I am a longtime employee at Rockwell Farms Nursery, ran the nursery, and then I've also got a landscape business. And so, avid gardener, love being outside, and love plants.
Excellent. Well, that's pretty much what it takes, right?
That's all it takes.
Yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit more about Rockwell Nursery here in a few minutes, but then you're going to show us, our talk today is about evergreens and,
yes.
and what's going on right now, because I understand you dig a lot of holes recently.
A lot of them here in Rockinsaw.
Yeah. Rockinsaw.
Rockinsaw.
I love that.
Northwest Rockinsaw.
It really is Rockinsaw.
Got a lot of it. Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. But tell us a little bit more. I told you a few minutes ago that I've driven by your all's place a lot, and I always just saw the front. It's always great. And I thought, okay, well, that's it. And then one day, I drove in.
Yeah.
It's deep.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I hear that a lot from people that drove by for years, and then they pull in and they're like, I didn't know this place was so big. It really is. It goes back quite a bit. I think it's 2.5 acres, and most of it's all trees, shrubs, and flowers.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's going on there right now, other than evergreens? I know you got that, but what else is happening?
Yeah, right now we're actually selling Christmas trees. So we've changed the front out. So if you drive by there, you'll get to see beautiful Christmas lights and beautiful Christmas trees, wreaths, garland, door swags. So we do a lot of that in the winter. So we completely switch gears in the winter and switch over to Christmas trees. We still sell trees and shrubs and perennials and whatnot, but it's a little bit slower on that side as the season changes.
What about poinsettias?
So not currently.
Not currently. Okay.
Yeah, we don't have the climate control area for the poinsettias.
Gotcha.
Quite yet.
Okay, so are those wreaths and those swags and everything already kind of made up and decorated? Or?
Yeah. So you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
They're already made for you. Some of them have pretty berries in them, pine cones, and they smell really good.
I bet they do.
Yeah, they sure do.
They do. All right, so what's a typical day like for Josiah?
A typical day starts out with a lot of coffee.
Yes.
But a typical day for me is getting our customers lined out for the day. So we do all of the planting for Rockwell Farms Nursery. And so everything that's bought from the nursery is planted in-house. So we actually do our own planting. And so we'll start off the day loading up trees, making sure our orders are correct, and then going out and digging holes, planting trees, staking and tying, mulching, whatever the job requires. So.
Okay. Yeah. And you say landscaping, you do a lot of landscaping, so obviously I see planting trees there, but you also, do you have a service to where if I came in and said, hey, Josiah, I have this space.
Yes.
You could help?
Absolutely. So we do landscape design. We started doing that back in January. So now we offer landscape design. So if you come in, you're like, please help me, I need some help. We do consultation and a design for you, and then we check that over with you, see if you like it, and then proceed if you want to, or if you want to wait, we do that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite part of the job?
Being outside every day.
Yeah.
Getting a lot of sun, it's good for me, but being around the plants, really. That might sound cheesy, but I love being around the plants.
Hey, did you notice
it's in my blood?
You see this?
Yep, Master Gardener, I sure did.
I know exactly. I mean, if I'm needing to calm down, you go out and dig in the soil.
Yeah.
It's not dirt; it's soil.
Well, some of it is.
Or it's rock.
Yeah, or it's rock. Yeah, no kidding.
But aggressions, with the Arkansas toothpick, you can kind of chop through the rock a little.
It's so funny. I did a video for, I did a video saying basically a lot of people spend so much money on therapy, but if they just go to the garden center, they can do that for free. Unless they fill up the back of their truck with plants, it's free.
There you go. Yeah. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect. You mentioned earlier that you have a young son. does he like the outdoors like you do?
He does, yeah. So his name is Fisher. He's 2 years old, and every chance he can get, he's outside. So, and he's figured out how to use the back door, and it's a little scary. So, yeah, he's out there. Yeah, for sure.
Do you mind me telling a story about him, Fisher, and Alexa?
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
yeah.
you tell it.
Yeah, he's figured out how to use the Alexa in the house. So randomly he'll yell out, "Hey Alexa," and holler for what he wants Alexa to do, and it's usually playing the Cars Truck song. So.
Oh, really? He has a favorite song?
Yeah, but it's gotten, it's a little funny because he'll do it at the wrong moments now. So he thinks that the TV will also listen to him, but it doesn't, you know, and so he'll holler out, "Hey Alexa," across the house.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. Well, we're going to talk today. I mean, you have all kinds of really wonderful things we're going to get into it here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
But what would you, let's talk about hours. Winter hours at Rockwell.
Great question. Yeah, so our hours have changed. So our hours are from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And now the reason that we did that is because we have the pretty Christmas lights up and we want people to see those and shop. And then we also offer hot chocolate. So if you come out, you're looking for a treat, you could get some hot chocolate. But yes, our hours have changed from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. So if you come as an early bird, you want to make sure that you end up coming around 10. So
yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It really is. I want to take just a moment because you have been pretty instrumental with the I'm also a master naturalist, so I get the things.
Amazing, yeah.
So anyway, you've been very helpful with us with the Master Gardeners. What kind of? I mean, is it mostly advice? Is it mostly how have you? Do you interact with us a lot, professionally or just as a?
I have professionally, yeah. I've been to a couple of different gardening clubs and as a guest speaker, and that's pretty fun. I love getting to go out and do that. And then we do like plant giveaways usually when I come. I like to do that. But then also on a local level and a personal level as well, with them coming into the nursery or us planting their trees or giving them gardening advice. Love to do that. So I would say our main goal at Rockwell Farms Nursery is to really help the gardeners, landscapers, and DIYers. So we're all for giving as much advice and help that we can. So.
I gotcha. Let's take just a second here. I would like to remind everybody of our sponsors for this show, and that's the it's the Master Gardeners and the Bella Vista Garden Club.
Oh, wow. So
we have a lot of really cool support for the garden show, for sure.
That's amazing.
And you know, it sounds a little cheesy, but it isn't really. It's also with the National Garden Club Association. It's a sponsored show, meaning it's an award-winning show. That's what I'm trying to think of.
Yeah.
So, at any rate, thank you to both of those organizations. And what I would suggest we do, we're gonna cut the first half a little bit short here. We're going to take a really quick break right now. Sorry, guys in the back, and we'll be right back. And then we're going to talk about all these beautiful plants.
Hello, I'm Dave Todd, president of Todd Films. We work alongside Bella Vista Community Television to produce some of the content you see aired here. Have you thought about reaching your customers through a television ad? We have several options for you to consider. They range from coming to our studio here, or going to your place of business, or on location. Once you have your commercial, Bella Vista Community Television has several options for you to consider for airing your commercial. Do you have a live event that you would like to capture on video? We also offer live production packages that may be of interest. Please continue to tune in to Bella Vista Community Television. We hope you are enjoying this program. And now back to the show.
All right, are we back up and ready to go? Hi there, everybody. Okay, you have some amazing specimens here.
I do.
Why don't you start talking about them?
Yeah, absolutely. So most of these are going to be proven winners color choice shrubs. And so we sell a lot of these at the nursery. They're pretty tried and true, and then they go through so many plant trials to bring the best plants that they can. And so what I've got right here in front of me, this is the Fire Chief Arborvitae. So I think it's really important to get color in your winter landscape. Very important. A lot of times people will go out and they will do their landscape, but they're only buying the blooming, pretty things that are in season, and then they forget about the winter. So the winter comes, you have a whole bunch of sticks and brown in your garden or landscape. So these are some great ways to add some color. But this is the Fire Chief Arborvitae. This guy gets a nice red, kind of bronzy hue on the end. If it's put in a little bit more shade, it does get some yellow in it as well.
Oh.
So if it's in a part shade. Now this only gets 2 to 3 foot tall and wide.
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah.
So it's really a great landscaping.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Great shrub, especially for like borders, or if you have a smaller space that you don't need something big, but you need some lasting color. This is a great shrub to go for.
And it's a shrub, not
Yeah,
a tree.
correct.
Okay.
Yep, it is a shrub.
All right.
Absolutely.
What else you got? I know you've
All
got
right.
some other goodies down there. You want to
Well,
talk about this one?
Yeah, let's talk about this guy. So this is the Montana moss. So we talked about getting red in your landscape. Now this is blue. So this is going to be a frosty blue, a little bit different from most of your junipers. But this is Montana moss. It only gets about 2 to 4 foot tall and wide. But it takes on a really nice kind of sparse shape, or you can also prune it back to keep it more contained if you wanted. Not a problem. But this does keep a nice blue. In the winter, it seems to get actually a little bit more of a frosty blue to it.
Ooh.
So it really stands out, especially if you have it up against any green evergreens. Really stands out in the landscape and gives some really nice contrast.
And it's also a shrub,
Correct.
not a tree.
Yes, so
Okay.
this is a shrub.
And it smells like Christmas.
It smells so good, doesn't it?
It does, it does.
All right. One of the next ones that I got with me, this is newer on the market, okay? So this is a golden haywire false cypress.
That's a mouthful.
It is. So now this is, I would call this, it's a kind of a shree, a mix between a shrub and a tree. Okay. So this does get 12 to 18 foot tall, but it is a slower grower. I know this cute little guy right here is going to get pretty big. It is a slower grower though, and it can be trimmed and maintained to keep a shape or a certain height. That's pretty easy like that. And sometimes they'll actually trim these to keep them full. I actually like this one growing pretty sparse because it will send out shoots and kind of flop, and it gives really good texture in the landscape.
Does it have to have full sun?
Yep, so this one in our zone, our nursery, we try to go by zone 6A.
Yes.
So that way our plants are safe through the winter and then also in the summer. But this one right here, this is going to be best in our zone and maybe part shade or just shaded in the evening, in the hot afternoon sun, really.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
but it does prefer full sun if you're a little bit more north of us. But here, if you've got a spot maybe on the side of the house where the trees maybe cover it in the afternoon, you're in good standing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I like that one. That's a nice one. You want to put it down or
Have a
put
nice
it over
yellow.
here?
Yeah, let's set it over there.
Oh, I can hide myself in the camera. Hi there, John. How you doing?
Okay, I've got one more yellow here. This one is one that we use a lot in the landscape, just because it gives really good texture, a lot like the haywire over there. Gives really good texture, gives great color all season round, and then also adds structure into the landscape. And so this guy right here, this is a gold mop false cypress, gold mop false cypress. Now this does get around 5 to 6 foot tall and wide, but it's another slower grower, so it's not just going to take off on you really fast.
And again, a shrub.
It is a shrub.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one right here, it's just a great one to have in the landscape, but it has these wispy kind of tendrils coming off of it, which gives it such great texture. So.
I may come by later and buy a couple of these.
Come
I have
on
a
over.
spot.
Yeah, we got a lot of them.
Yeah, that one. I like the yellow. You know, the shape of it and everything
Yeah.
else to give it a little.
It also really stands out. I like putting the yellow up against something green, maybe like an arborvitae or a green giant, or even like a Spartan juniper, because it really makes that green stand out as much as it makes the yellow stand out.
That makes
Yeah.
perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Okay. All righty.
Next one I've got with me, so now we're going to talk about upright, narrow trees.
Okay.
So these next ones that I've got. most people know the emerald green arborvitae.
Yes.
But this one is a sting arborvitae.
What does that mean?
So the sting arborvitae, it's going to grow more. It does grow upright like the emerald green, but this one only gets 1.5 foot wide, and so it's just going to grow up in a nice narrow. I'll tell you what. A lot of people are moving to the area, and they, because of that, we've got some smaller yards coming up and stuff where people just don't have the room for like a green giant arborvitae that gets 12 foot wide, but they need privacy. Now Proven Winners is coming out with some wonderful shrubs/trees that will provide privacy, but also not get super big and overwhelming. So this one is great as a screen, or also as maybe just a standalone specimen out in the landscape. But it does get 15 to 20 foot tall.
Okay.
It is a faster grower, so this can grow up to 2.5 foot per year. And then also because it doesn't get more than 1.5 foot wide, it's also great for up against the house. If you've got a spot and you want to soften the corner of a house, it's also really good for that as well.
And it's got a little bit more, I don't know what the right word is, more classy look.
Yeah, it kind of does.
A little elegant look
And
rather
it
than...
stays very clean. That's another thing that I like about this. Sometimes with your arborvitaes, if you get a heavy snow or something, you can have some of those leaning down from the weight, and then they don't recover and you have to tie them together. This one, you don't have to do that. It stays pretty well maintained. And then there's never any trimming that you have to do on these unless you have to, unless you want to, which is really nice. Nice and low maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last one that I've got over here, so we talked about the emerald green a little bit. This is an improved variety that handles the cold far much better. So a couple of years back, we had an ice storm, and we were hearing all of this with my arborvitaes. They got winter desiccation, winter burn. This is an improved variety that does not get that. I've actually got quite a few of these planted in my backyard, and it grows really, really well. Grows about 1.5 feet per year. So once it's established, it really kind of starts taking off, and it fills out really nice and dense. So this is kind of an improved variety of the emerald green. It's called the North Pole arborvitae.
Okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, about 10 to 15 foot tall and about 4 to 5 foot wide.
Okay. So are there different classes of evergreen? You seem very, very much knowledgeable about evergreens and things. Let's just talk about the different classes or the types. Or, there's juniper, there's cedar, there's all of that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so you have most of your arborvitae. When you hear arborvitae or false cypress, usually that is like your false cypress that's in the arborvitae family, which is thuya, or it's just a red western cedar. So so they're all in the family of the red western cedar.
Okay.
And so if you drive to California, you see them all over red western cedars over on the west coast. Well, they're improving varieties to bring them this way as well, so that way we can enjoy these over here in all different shapes, colors, and sizes. But your main ones is like your cedar. There's different varieties of cedar, as in shrub or tree, and then which is like this. And then you have juniper. Juniper, a little bit more sparse. We see a lot of them growing naturally on the sides of the roads or along fence lines, from birds dropping their seed so nicely in those rows.
Yes.
So
are they more blue though, the junipers?
So they can be. Most of your junipers in the winter, like your arborvitaes and cedars, they'll kind of get kind of a burgundy rust color. Some of them, not all of them. But you'll notice which ones are cedar because they'll get more of a burgundy color, and you'll notice which ones are juniper because they'll kind of get more of a blue color on them.
Do they have the little berry things on them
sure
as
do.
well?
Yep.
And you can also make gin out of it, but we won't talk
I heard about
that.
Yeah. Yes, you sure can. And then there's different kinds of pines. Those are your main ones.
Yeah.
I didn't bring any pines with me today, but some really good ones is like your Vanderwolf pine. It gets like a nice frosty blue, and now they're starting to make artificial trees that look like them. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Because what is it? I think Arkansas actually has a pine that's kind of grows in groves, and it's one of the national things. What is that one?
So that is the loblolly.
Oh, the loblolly.
The loblolly. So
Yeah.
it is the Arkansas state tree.
That's right.
And it grows everywhere. And you know what? That's one of the biggest sellers we actually sell is the loblolly pine. And it's so funny. We've been out to jobs where they have loblollies everywhere, and they want us to plant, more in their yard. And so we kind of think it's funny buying these trees when you have hundreds of them around you that you could dig up out of the ditch, So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so what are you going to do the rest of the day now that
Well,
what's on your agenda?
Agenda is going to some landscape jobs.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're
Do you
working
do a
on
lot
it.
of work in Bella Vista?
So we do. We do a lot of work in Bella Vista.
Okay.
And so mostly planting trees in Bella Vista. And so they'll come to the nursery, purchase some trees, and we'll go out and plant those for them. But we even go out as far as like Grove, Oklahoma.
Oh, you
Jay,
do?
Oklahoma. Yeah, we sure do.
Okay.
So Eureka Springs, Holiday Island.
You've been in business for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, Mark has been there for about 30 years, and so he's been going strong. I've been with him for about 6 years altogether, so we're actually getting ready to go on 7. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this time of year. Is there anything that folks need to do other than just leave things alone with trees
No
and
pun
shrubs?
intended, leave them alone.
Leave them
Leave
alone,
them
yeah.
alone. Is there anything that people should be doing this time of year? I would recommend if you have plants that are maybe more specific to Zone 7, making sure those are mulched heavily. And then there's also some plants that they're coming out with newer plants and bringing them down here, or bringing them up here and advertising them. There are some plants you want to make sure that you're covering if need be. But mostly the things that you can do right now is make sure that you're mulching thick. If you have a lot of leaves in your yard that you haven't cleaned up yet, you can actually use those, rake them around the root base of your plants. Because
I mulch all mine first.
Yeah, that's great.
I mow them with the mower and then use that leaf litter.
That's great.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that. Because those
No leaf should leave your yard, really.
Yeah, really. We move a lot of leaves.
I know you do.
Yeah. So, but those are some great things that you can do just to kind of protect for the winter. And then also don't forget, if we start to get into a dry spell in the winter, and sometimes we do, to go out and water your newly planted. And I know it seems kind of silly to do that, watering in the winter. But if you've got newly planted trees or shrubs within 2 years old, not fully established yet, then we would highly recommend going out in those dry seasons. So that way you don't get things like winter burn, winter desiccation
Gotcha.
on your plants. Yeah.
All right. What now? Is it too late to plant bulbs? Do you still have bulbs going on?
I'll tell you what, I have planted bulbs in the very end of December and still had them come up in the spring.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's too late. Now, certain bulbs it might be a little bit, but things like your daffodils, your naturalizing tulips, things of that sort, you can still go out and plant them. Crocus, those are great as well.
Oh, isn't that the most fun thing in the world? In February, I go out and get the mail, and there are those little sweet crocus coming up out of the snow.
I love the surprises because we just planted 200 daffodils in our front yard.
Yeah.
And then, but last year we planted just about 50 of them. That's what it got us. Okay, let's plant more this year. And then you forget about them. And then all of a sudden you have these beautiful things popping up everywhere first time in spring. So
absolutely. I think that is amazing. All right. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience today about evergreens, or just anything in general? Because you seem like an encyclopedia to me.
I appreciate that. Not so much, but thank you. I would say uses. There's tons of different uses for evergreens. And so some of your most common uses, your number one is going to be privacy. A lot of people that are moving close to each other, I always say bad neighbors keep us in business.
Yes.
Because they're wanting to get privacy and wanting some trees. So, but privacy is the number one. There's different trees that you can use for privacy. Evergreens are great because then you're getting the privacy all season long, even in the winter. Another use is going to be, screening or hiding.
Yes.
So you have your screening, which is good for privacy or hiding. Maybe like meter sockets that are in the yard, or
Unless you live in Bella Vista. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a whole nother.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, hiding things, or we even get people that want to hide their boat in the back of their property, and so evergreens for that as well. Another common use for evergreens is adding color. So you have a landscape that lasts longer than just spring and summer, which is really important. And so that one's another really good one. And another different use, sorry.
It's okay.
Another great use for evergreens is also adding texture.
Yes.
Texture is another big one. A lot of times when you go out to the landscape and it just looks flat, or you maybe look at your landscape and you're wondering what's going on here, what am I missing? It's probably because you're missing some texture. And so by adding evergreens like some of the ones we showed you, that can improve that a whole lot.
Yeah.
Another one of the uses for adding evergreens is framing, and a lot of people don't think about this, but framing in a house or a certain area, say you've got maybe a fire pit in your yard or something like that, that you want to make that part of the yard its own area. Framing with evergreens really helps to kind of build that seclusion. That's how when you go into a landscape and you kind of feel like you've got different rooms in the landscape, that really helps to kind of add that seclusion to that area.
I just have another idea.
Yeah.
I do need to come and see you.
Yeah.
Because I have a fire pit out there, and around the edge, I don't want anything tall, but some shrubs or something that hold the structure in as well.
Absolutely. And then also for erosion. A lot of people are using them for erosion, so that way
it's kind of on a slant, but it's built up a little.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the roots spread out. Most of your evergreens are going to have pretty good lateral roots and not so much tap roots. Some of them do have tap roots, but that will kind of help with erosion as well. So many uses.
You have to be careful, though, because we have septics.
Correct. So now most of, like your arborvitaes, most of their root system, even the ones that get 30 foot tall, really only go down to about 2 foot. And so they're great around septic areas or also sidewalks. So, yeah.
But not good in the wind necessarily.
Not good in the wind.
In the wind?
Wind.
Yeah, do they topple easily?
Well, so if you have a really windy area, there are some evergreens that you can put in those areas to withstand that a little bit better. But for the most part, most of them that we sell are pretty wind strong, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so is there anything, let's talk about companion plants and things like never plant near an evergreen. Anything like that going on?
Yeah, I would say something not to plant near, like especially your cedar trees, especially your native cedar trees, would be like fruit trees, mostly apples.
I know, because we blame Oklahoma for ruining the apple crop over here, remember? Because I used to work at Peel Mansion, and they used to have all those apple trees, and so we blame Oklahoma for bringing the cedars over. No, it's just...
That's funny. Well, Arkansas used to be the capital apple of America.
Exactly.
So we had orchards everywhere. Here in Bella Vista, you have Orchard Road up there by the Lowe's. So we used to be a big area for apple growing. But
those cedars are not their friend.
They are not their friend. So if you do have that, then you can, I would recommend at least going around 50 foot away from it if you've got the property to do so.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Other things not to plant next to each other. There are certain trees that don't do too well planted to the same tree, like I was talking about screening. Some of your trees don't. There are some trees that don't grow well together as a screen being planted closely. Like if you ever see a tree, you see it a lot here in Bella Vista, and it's going up and then it all of a sudden goes out like that. Yeah. Doesn't do well with being planted to other trees. But if you go to your local garden center, they can help you on what trees, we can answer those questions on what trees go well with what, as far as, hey, will this do good next to this? My biggest thing on that is also keep in mind the size of the width.
Yes.
A lot of times we'll get out and so the customer will place their flags where they want their trees or shrubs planted. And it happens pretty commonly, not thinking of the future of how big that tree or shrub is going to get,
Yeah.
and it being too close and crowding out other things. So,
Yeah. I've done that with other plants. It's like, oh
I think
my
we've all done
goodness.
it. Yeah.
It's just
all
like it
done
looks great for years, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden it's like, oh no.
Got to get some shears out there or a shovel. Yeah.
That's right. So we're almost out of time, but tell us where Rockwell Farms
Yeah.
Nursery is.
So we're located at 2412 West Hudson Road in Rogers. We've got the big chicken out front, right across from the Harley Davidson dealership in Rogers on 102. Right now, we've also got 10% off of all of our deciduous trees. And then also our master gardeners. If you come and show us you're a master gardener, you get 10% off of any live plants.
And we appreciate
Trees,
that.
shrubs, yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate that so much. So I'm coming to see you sometime soon.
Yeah, you should.
Because you gave me so many ideas.
Well, if you buy 3 trees, we'll plant them for free for you.
I was
So
just going
we
to ask.
do that too.
I was just going to
mention.
say, if you have to buy at least 3, and then whatever.
Yep, and we'll plant them for free.
All right, we're going to see each other
You'll get
soon.
to see me. Come out
I
there
know.
and dig the holes.
That's right. Hey, thank you so much. This
Yeah.
is fun. Everybody told me it was going to be fun, and they weren't wrong.
Okay, appreciate that.
So anyway, thank you guys. We'll see you next month. I don't know what we're going to talk about in January, but we always come up with something. So see you later. Thank you, Josiah.
All right, thank you so much.
All right.